We're live. We're live. All right. I assume we're doing some tea reveals today.
What do you mean?
Little tea reveal.
Oh, of course. You cannot go without the tea reveal. I like that one.
Got the Anxious Ghost drip on right now. Anxious Ghost Apparel. New drop out now. Check it out.
Grateful Dead.
That's pretty sweet.
Little Grateful Dead space. Yeah.
Just all in his cranium there.
Yeah. Drawn to the sky. And then we also got a little drink reveal. I know we're beverage connoisseurs. Liquid Death Killer Cola. Gonna try her out.
Is that new? Is that a new thing?
It is. Let's give it a try.
Nice, dude.
Terrible.
I always liked their branding. Thought it was pretty cool.
Me too. Yeah, I love it. Like, it looks like you're drinking like some massive beer, but it's just like a sparkling water.
Wait, what's the brand called? Oh,
Liquid Death.
When I was on Life or Death Records, they sponsored like all the artists on there for a little bit.
That's cool.
I think it was like during COVID, so I don't think I ever got any, but.
Well, we were going to say, if, we are kind of beverage connoisseurs now. We've kind of become that.
Oh, yeah.
If anyone out there has cool drink recommendations, such as, something like that, preferably non-alcoholic, down to try her.
Yeah. We'll do it on the podcast.
Giving a good weird drink a try.
Yeah, if there's, alcohol, you can go ahead with those.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
You just want to get me hammered.
This is like an old-ass Say We Can Fly mug, or Stay Cozy mug. I couldn't find the Amber Forest one. So.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. What do you got in there? Is that the cola?
It's a little bit of coffee in there.
Yeah, same.
I usually have a 3-drink setup here, usually. I don't know what you do.
Yeah, usually 1 or 2.
I usually go with a coffee, get something a little sweet, and then I got like a water.
I forgot the water today, but
Then wherever the conversation goes, I have something to complement it,
Yeah. No, it's good. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Dude, I found a massive, massive spider today. Like, it was
really
one of the biggest I've ever seen. Yeah.
Large.
Very large. Outside, though, thankfully. Greasy, though. Not a fan.
Yeah. I saw a spider in Costa Rica that was like, I think something like this. Well, like, obviously the body was only like this big, but then the arms or legs were massive.
That's gross.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, not a fan of those.
How's the little foot doing?
Yeah, the foot's better. Had a little scooter accident, which is really unfortunate. 30-year-old man, but I still like to get wild and ride the electric scooters. And I was coming up on like a concrete ledge. And I thought I could clear it, but I last second realized I couldn't, so I stuck my foot out, caught her in a crevice, and just twisted it. Yeah, I couldn't walk on it at all, like yesterday or the day before, but it's a little better now. But it makes you appreciate,
So you wiped out completely.
Yeah, I totally like twisted it, fell over, and I was like, oh shit. And it was fine for like an hour. I was like, oh, nothing happened. It takes a while to set in. Yeah. Scooter was fine. Hopped right back on. Yeah. But,
But you're walking on her now?
Yeah, I can walk on it. I was a little worried for a bit. Because, dude, it's like you don't realize, you just take it for granted. Like getting up just to make a coffee or anything, putting pants on, it's like, oh, this is going to be some work. And you're just always out of breath.
Wheeling around on the office chair everywhere.
Yeah, that worked pretty well. Like for getting around the hall and the kitchen and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty decent, but.
That's nice.
It's always, when you get injured or anything, you're just always like, that could have been worse. Just happy it wasn't,
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last time you had something?
I'm trying to remember. Like, I think I was telling you I was punting a football one Thanksgiving, and I just punted the ground instead, just kicked right into the solid frozen ground. That took me out for a while.
So was that your toe that
not
got
a
screwed
story
up?
You want to retell to people. It's not a battle scar for sure. That's just being an idiot.
Yeah.
It was like my top of my foot.
Painful.
Can't really remember. I haven't done too many things to my body because like I haven't broken a bone. I did like fracture a finger, just like slammed it in a truck door when I was like 11.
Oh, ow.
That was Memorial Day. I was going fishing. Another fishing accident.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always like, damn, was this even worth it? You know?
No, it never is.
No. Yeah, that's brutal.
I don't know. It's what was I gonna say though? No, I forgot.
Well, what do you say, boys? Movie of the week? What do you think?
Oh, dude. You know, it's just horrible. I still have not seen a single film since the last time we talked. And this always happens to me because...
No, it's all right. I just get excited to talk about what I watched, basically.
Yeah, so basically Anthony Barella is a great disc golfer. He's really good.
Still watching the disc golf?
Super far. Jomez Pro. Yeah, I just been watching disc golf.
Nice.
I'm one of 10 people watching disc golf.
Can't relate to the sports at all.
Yeah.
But
such an emo.
Yeah. Movie of the week? Well,
let's go for it.
Warfare. Finally watched it. It was it was good. It's A24. Always a fan. They I don't know, it was interesting though cuz it's kind of like what do you call it? Like chamber film where it was like mostly in one location, like in a house. And it was interesting, like a lot of the stuff they did with it, because it's about this, like, what do you call it, a platoon or just a group of guys, right?
Yeah.
That are in this house and they're trying to get out because, like, the enemies are closing in and starting to attack, but you never really see the enemies. And a lot of it was audio. Like, the audio is insane because, they, when there's an explosion, like, they would totally shift the audio from, like, the person's perspective. And, they do, like, the generic, like, kind of like low EQ and ringing and all that. It was totally different. They did it so interestingly. Like it really felt like you were like having that like panic attack. Like, it was pretty cool. Acting was great. A lot of great cast, but yeah, short and sweet. It was I'd give it maybe like a 7.5 out of 10. I gotta start rating the movies. Never rate them.
Isn't it crazy how many chamber films are coming out now?
I love it, dude. I love chamber films, yeah.
Yeah. It's like generally a necessity thing. People are shooting for budgets now, which is cool. But I mean, I like them. It's something that it keeps things like cohesive, and like you start to create like a mental home in that location. At least for me, it's like when you're reading a storybook, you're like immersed into it. The less locations in like a movie, I feel like you're also kind of immersed into that, and you kind of feel a part of it, and you start to... It grows on you, like that space they're living in. Like, is it 12 Angry Men is like the original, I think, where they're all, I don't know if you've ever seen that one, but they're all like on this, they're all a jury and they're trying to solve this murder. And it's just a discussion the whole time, just pure dialogue. But I can imagine like a war one, like if you just nail the audio. And that's like the type of movie you really have to see in theaters to appreciate.
Yeah, 100%. Probably. Yeah, it would have been a theater movie, but I missed it.
I thought you did see it in theaters.
No, I was going to, but didn't make her. What else can we talk about here? I was gonna say I was gonna talk about. It was weird to see that recent plane crash in San Diego.
Oh yeah,
with Dave Shapiro and the guy from Devil Wears Prada and the other people that were in the plane. But Dave was my old booking agent for a couple years. It's just always weird, it's weird when something like that happens and the person, like even remotely. It's because I feel like a lot of times when you hear about that stuff, it's so not personal at all, like in any way, where you kind of just are like, oh, that's crazy. But it's just weird when you see something happen to someone you knew, because it just reminds you, like, damn, like all those things should remind you, like anything could happen. Life is precious, but yeah, it's wild, man. Wild.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of like bands, everything like in the metal scene, like all of my favorite bands like posted about having some connection to him, it seems like.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy. I didn't know like he had his own like aviation company or whatever.
Yeah. I didn't know that either.
Pretty wild.
But I do remember he was always like, he was like always doing crazy stunts, like jumping off buildings, and some people just love that stuff, dude, like adrenaline. Yeah. It would be probably awesome to be like that, but I can't imagine it, dude. I don't know.
You can't even handle a scooter, so
I know. Can't even handle it.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm always afraid of like smaller planes too because of those things. And it's like, I think there was like a number of factors in that whole thing, but it seemed like there was just a lot of bad circumstances piling up.
I think it was just like unfortunate stuff. And like, there was a storm that knocked out some communication.
Like no visibility.
Yeah, just
fog. Marine layer on the ocean there is crazy. Like this time of year, they call it June gloom. And that's the same thing that happened with Kobe Bryant, the helicopter. It's because some days, I mean, in LA or San Diego, I mean, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's so foggy sometimes, just from like the marine layer mixed with like the smog from the city. It's probably not as bad in San Diego, like city smog, but the marine layer can be really thick. I don't know if that's what it was, but
I think that was probably part of it.
Because I think he was trying to instrument fly, from what I
dude, that's the thing. Like,
instrument land.
I have a friend who's like a pilot, and he's telling me all about, like, he was doing his IFR training, like instrument. I think that's what it's called, where you're only relying on the instruments and you can't see anything. Yeah. Dude, that's just got to be nuts. Because he was like, just imagine driving a car and the whole windshield and windows are just like gray and you can't see anything. Yeah, because you could so easily get disoriented of like where you are, if you're turned or not. Oh,
totally. Like, you have to rely on your altimeter, and I think maybe the altimeter was broken. I remember one time I was driving to LA. This just happened to Josh too. It was pouring torrential rain for multiple days, and all of a sudden my windshield wipers went out completely in pouring rain going 70 miles an hour down the highway. That was probably one of the scariest moments of my life, because it was instantly I couldn't see anything. Road was completely invisible, and I just like had to dig deep and be like, okay, well, what can I do? I got to pull over to the right side of the road, but there's no visibility. I can see behind me. I can't see in front of me at all. So it was so weird. Like I had to react in a moment's notice, just like pull over. Luckily I was able to get over, just pull on the side of the road. But then I was like, how do I even get back? Because we had to get back to Beechwood Canyon, which was like, we were only about maybe 5 to 8 minutes away, but it was just crazy. Because it was like, I think it was 100-year historic rain in LA. This was like January 2024. But dude, it was so nuts. Like I remember just putting the window down, like looking out the window, literally the whole drive back, like just driving on the highway. And just like going up the little tiny roads up Beechwood Canyon, Hollywoodland, and like parking the car and just sitting in that house for like 3 days because we couldn't go anywhere, because it's like we had to order the windshield wiper motor and arm and everything. And I remember it was so crazy. Like in order to get to the dealership to give us a quote of like what part we actually needed for the windshield wiper, we had to took shoelaces, tied them on the windshield wiper, and like one person would pull one way and then the other person would pull them back. So as I was driving, I was reaching out like the driver's window, pulling these windshield wipers up and down with shoelaces all the way down like the canyon into LA. Got the quote at the Honda dealership, did the same thing all the way back. It was wild.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder too, like why, when you hear those really specific things happen, it's like it's like pouring rain, you're going fast, and like that specific thing is what gives out. It's weird, man. Like, because I feel like that happens a lot. Just crazy freak, like, but really specific. I mean, Final Destination type stuff, Yeah, it's like, why?
Exactly.
Is that? I don't know. You just don't
crazy.
Know. Some weird force. But I mean, it could be. Everything is either pure chaos or coordinated in some way.
I don't know. Maybe it is both. It could be both. But
could it be?
It seems that way.
I don't know.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Simulation.
It does.
I don't know. I was listening to a good old simulation theory pod last night.
Nice.
Little AI. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was talking about simulation theory with those bunny ears on, that Easter short.
Yeah. Yep.
The logical flaw.
Yeah, I actually kept thinking about that when I was listening to it.
I've never really heard someone explain it that way though. And I was like, everyone talks about like, yeah, they're always like, oh yeah, like we're definitely in one because we could create one ourselves in the future. So therefore, like, obviously. But yeah, it's weird. That's why it's like, it's a good practice to like learn epistemology and really think outside of the box and like, you know, just explore metaphysics and just explore like metacognition topics, because I feel like that just helps you see things a little bit differently and examine them. Like, I don't know, we used to talk about that a lot on the pod, but
we did. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
it's one thing that I hadn't thought about for a while, but he was bringing up like when you go to sleep and you wake up, you don't really know if like that's, you know, this could be the first day of our lives, and like everything that we think we remember is just like written memories, right? You can't get out of that. It's entirely possible. And it's like, if you go to sleep, that's like, you know, you're saving the game and you're coming back later. But to us, it feels like, you know, instant.
Right.
So trippy.
Yeah,
man.
Theoretically, you could just plant all your memories in one moment, like at any given moment.
Exactly.
But memory, I don't know, some memories feel so just, I don't know, memory's a weird one though, because it's like some people will have like false memories when they're trying to recount like a scary situation or whatever, which I get, but it feels so tangible, like it doesn't feel like a memory. It just feels like, I don't know, because there's also like theories of like memory not taking place in the brain, and that actually like the brain's a receiver to this like infinite conscious, you know, super conscious reality or whatever out there, and we're just picking that up, and that memory isn't specifically stored in the brain, because, you know, if certain parts of the brain get damaged in people, other parts of the brain will like take up the role that other one was supposed to serve, that other part of the brain. I don't know, it's weird.
I think too, apparently, when you like, memories are just memories of the last time you remembered something, apparently. So you're not really remembering the true thing, so it gets more diluted every time. Because I think that like most of the stories people tell, it's like they can't really be that accurate, like unless it's really fresh. I just feel like we make stuff up and then we just think like, oh, that's really what happened. Like,
well, like sometimes you'll embellish a story naturally. It's like a social thing people do.
Yeah.
You just slightly embellish a story. And then if you slightly embellish that, probably the next time you think of the story, you probably remember the embellishment as part of a thing that happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That's interesting.
Everything we're saying on the pod just never happened.
Do you ever catch yourself like embellishing something in a weird way where you're like, why did I do that? Like,
yeah, sometimes
no
I do.
Reason.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. It's like some social thing we do.
We do a lot of weird social stuff.
Just like Instagram, like editing a photo.
Exactly. It's all fake. It's all an illusion in some way.
Yeah, this is one of the few raw, authentic things we probably do.
Yeah. Could be all AI though. You don't know?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that now.
I always wonder that, like the YouTube videos and stuff where people are just, because you were showing me a thing where like it just scans your face and your voice, and then you can just have it like, it's basically like you're typing out, have me say this, and it'll like generate you saying that, and it's like almost indistinguishable.
Dude, it was wildly realistic, man. And like and that was when it first came out. I can't remember what it's called. I think is it called HeyGen? It might be called that. But dude, like, yeah, you upload like a minute clip of yourself sitting talking, and it just makes a fake you, and it looks super real. So I just can't imagine in like a couple years, like, I mean, we just don't know where it's all going. It's just nuts.
Yeah, every time I find like a new YouTube channel, like sometimes I'm like, okay, is this a guy narrating this, or is this just a AI voice? And I always like hate that. I feel like you almost like need to prove yourself. I feel like the new thing will be doing all the things that AI can't do. And if you do something that it easily can do, those are the things that are more so going to fall to the wayside, unfortunately. This just with everything, but it's like, what isn't it going to be able to do? And it's kind of depressing when you think about it, because you're like, God dang it, like why? Like, I really liked the time we were in without AI stuff. Like, I really enjoyed where we were at with like just the accessibility to create stuff, YouTube blowing up, information free flow. And then AI kind of came in and was like, we might ruin all that for you now, because now you're not going to know the difference between anything.
Well, I think it's like,
God.
you have to, I don't know. I think about it. It's like the more stuff that AI makes and like the more easy it is to do, I feel like the demand for non-AI stuff is actually going to increase. But then it's like, will 100%. It get to the point? Because I feel like now there's still this weird sense, like subconscious sense that you can kind of tell. But it's like, will that eventually go away? Because I feel like when it goes away, that's when it's like, okay, what's going to be the difference? But I feel like maybe just knowing this was not made by AI, this was made by people, I think as long as they kind of are strict with like, you have to label this was made with AI, I think then
I would be 100% fine with that.
Yeah. I'm always like, I just want to stick with it for the long haul, like just not relying on AI for everything, like still honing our craft, doing our thing. Because I do think at some point, I think it's going to hold its value still. I think that. I could be wrong, but...
You are right about you can kind of subconsciously tell when something is totally just an AI, like photo, illustration, song, when someone, dude, I was just telling you the other day, some people leave comments on YouTube that they like just type into ChatGPT to like not just refine their comment, but to like write their comment. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but that is so like annoying to me, because a comment is not supposed to be some sophisticated statement to prove that you're smart and you know what you're talking about. It's just like, it's really just like a quick little opinion, fun thing to say. But there's people out there like, let me like rebuke this like statement with an AI generated like comment back. And I'm like, how
well,
dumb?
It's like a calculator. You don't know the answer, or a Google search. You look it up and then you can say it. Dude, I remember recently I emailed Epiphone about like a question about a guitar, like so the parts for it. And because I couldn't figure out like specific measurements for this one thing. And then they got back to me and they sent me this really detailed email. And I was like, oh, that's sick. Like, thank you. And then I read it and I realized like this was copy and paste from ChatGPT, because it wasn't even specific at all. And I was like, damn, that's what they're doing now. All right.
Yeah, it is kind of sad when you recognize it.
Yeah. There's like patterns and everything, but I feel like if those go away, then,
It's like people, like students, there's a lot of like high school teachers that you'll see online who are like, I'm done teaching because none of my students want to do their work. And they're just like throwing it all through ChatGPT. But I feel like, everyone can recognize like if a paper's written by ChatGPT, it's so obvious, even if you tell it like, oh, don't do this, don't do that. Like a paper is like a report card, I feel, or sorry, not a report card, but like a report that you're supposed to do in class. I feel like it would just be nice if we could throw those things through like a filter, just like you said, like with music, because there's tons of music coming out on Spotify now that's just purely AI generated music. It's not even like assisted. And it's like, that's kind of watering down, other music that's there. So now it's like the Discover Weekly cycling through AI music and real artists. But it's like, why can't we separate those two?
Just make an AI streaming platform. Like,
right.
Even Spotify, Spotify AI, like a separate thing. Like,
I'm just saying, like, it would be nice if there's a way for it to be labeled. Like, that's totally fine. Because I have nothing against people doing it. It's just, it needs to be said. It needs to be acknowledged that that's what it is. And if there was a way to do that with like photos, video, even writing, it's like it would be nice to be able to do it. Because it can be a good assistant. I think anyone who's using it as an assistant for their art, that's fine. But when it comes to like something that's like the full product, there has to be some type of filtering mechanism that can pick up on it. But I don't think there is. Like, I don't think there's a technology that like detects that, oh, this was made by this, because then it's just going to keep getting better.
Yeah, Instagram has that, but it sometimes is just wrong. Like something that's not AI, it'll say it is.
And that's really bad.
Yeah, exactly.
If it screws that up.
But yeah, I agree though. It's like, you see some people like posting something like, oh, here's a song I like made with AI or something. And it's like, they're like proud of AI made this, but it's mine. Like it's kind of weird to me a little bit where it's like, I agree though. It's like using it as an assistant to help you do the stuff you're not good at, but still make sure you're kind of spearheading whatever you're doing. Because I mean, we use it, like I use it for writing scripts, but it's just because I'm not good at like getting the foundation down. And I don't use it in the way where it's like I let it write the whole script. I just have it ask me questions about the scene and about stuff and then kind of compile it and just give ideas, you know?
Yeah. It's just trying to pull it's really just like unwinding your own mind is what it is.
Yeah.
Like for you to brainstorm, like it just can help with brainstorming things, and it can help like analyze something and be like, did you see this, or there's like a plot hole here or whatever, and you'd be like, oh yeah, you're right, you know. And it's like some people might not like that and be like, oh, you shouldn't even check it for grammar, plot holes, or even ideas. But I think as long as it's not like, oh, here's like the script, or here's the, you know, like with songwriting, it's really horrible. It doesn't really help at all. It's pretty terrible. But if it's like, if you are just trying to find this one word,
yeah,
and you're like, what one word can I use? The same way that you would use something like Rhyme Zone to just like, it's a thesaurus, right? The same way you use something like that, you can have it like just help you get through a sticking point. It's never going to do like an incredible job. And that's why I think just the more we get personal and more authentic and more grounded in like our like actual experiences with content, that's where that stuff's going to always outshine just like generic stuff, because generic art is the stuff that gets replicated. It's not really the incredible stuff. I mean, in a way it can use that information and replicate it, but I'm just saying, like, if you're making art about a certain experience that you had and reflects on your own life, I feel like that's what's going to shine through in this next phase
that's right. Yeah. It's like the experience.
Because that can't be faked.
Yeah, I mean, the AI is not having that experience. It can help you express it, maybe. But, I mean, dude, it's interesting because we could be so wrong, and, like, in 10 years we'll look back and be like, damn, we were wrong, or maybe we're right. But I always just wonder, like, the people that are making it, you know, like, do they think about, like, where is it going? Like, the inevitability of, like, it's just going to get insane. Like, I mean, they must, but it kind of seems like they don't. They're just trying to, like, make better and better, and I don't know. Dude.
Yeah.
It's strange. Such a weird thing that just, like, randomly happened. Like, it just happened.
There's this weird video of, like, Sam Altman sitting down with, like, the guy who, like, invented the iPhone. I don't know if he was, like, one of the inventors, but they were just talking about how they want to create like these devices, like something you would like wear around your neck that's like an AI assistant, but it's like, it's got a camera on it and it'll like tell you everything. So like, you know, everywhere you go, you just click and be like, what is this? What is this? You know, tell me how to do this. Tell me how to do this. And I think about that and I'm like, wait, your brain is going to completely melt because you're not going to use your brain for anything. Cause think about like Google Maps. It's like, we've used Google Maps so long that you can tell that you're worthless at getting places without it after a while. Yeah. And it's like, I cannot even imagine what it's going to be like if everyone has like some like pendant on that like sees everything they're doing, tells them everything about every situation, and they never use like critical thought anymore. That's going to be bad. And I mean, I'm victim to using, you know, ChatGPT a lot all day long, asking questions, talking to it, asking for this or that, because I'm like a constant thinker. I'm like, you know, if I had an assistant with me every single day, I could do that to them, but I'm by myself. So
it makes you wonder, like, eventually, like, what's the point? It's the point of being human, like, or is that the point, to just advance in that way? It's just a weird direction to go, I guess. I don't know.
It's not a point that seems satisfying to the spirit.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah.
Right.
It's this boring kind of.
I think we're going to get a massive revolutions of like getting away from technology and screens. Like, I think that it's just going to get so bad.
Imagine.
Yeah, I would love that.
I can't you can't even picture that now, but like, it would probably be the best thing ever for everybody, but nobody would want to do it because it's so convenient and comfortable, and sit there and order Uber Eats and, you know.
Well, there are some amazing things about it, obviously, like podcasts, Uber Eats, like you said. There's some really great things, but it's like, yeah, it'll be, I don't know. I just wonder like how many people are just going to take it to that level of like never thinking again and just like asking their AI device every little question that they can possibly, they never use their brain. But I think, I don't know, it's like anything you kind of realize It's like junk food. You have enough of it and you're like, yeah, I should really probably get healthy. Like I think your brain will just naturally feel bad, you know?
I think so too, but it's like, I think for me, the ultimate thing is like, is there ever going to be some kind of virtual reality, you know, Neuralink type thing where it's interconnected with your brain to where you can actually go into like a complete VR, be whatever you want, be whoever you want, that's like indistinguishable. And it's at that point, you know, that's like the scary point to me. If it's possible.
Like Ready Player One.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, why would you want to be in this reality if you can do whatever the hell you want, be whatever you want? It's like base reality is gone, kind of. But I don't know. So crazy, dude. It's like to even like talk about this stuff. Like imagine 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like it's
all the Black Mirror episodes are just coming true.
Dude, for real though. I feel like they're always like a foreshadow in a weird way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the one about I was telling you, but I think you watched it where there's like ads. You get that implant and there's ads and you have to keep upgrading your plan.
Yep. The subscriptions keep going up in price. And then like their subscription, like the mental subscription became like, oh, like we've if
like
you want to
premium
get rid of ads,
memories.
Yeah, she just like starts like explaining an ad to her class because she's like a teacher, and then the school system's like, hey, you can't. You're just like speaking random stuff. That was a crazy episode. Recommend people check that out. I like that. I don't know what season. The newest season.
Yeah, it's a new season. The early days of Facebook. Yeah, first episode.
Yeah,
the early days of Facebook. My manager at the time, he like set up an ad for my EP, and it was like when ads were just coming out, and like I remember seeing it like on the side. They had it like on the side of Facebook, and like I had people like message me and be like, oh my god, like I saw like a thing for your album like on Facebook. That's so cool. Like when ads were like kind of a cool thing, but now it's just like, dude,
yeah,
it's just like the fucking worst thing ever, and everyone's numb to it. It's like I don't get how they still work. Like I
don't think they do too much anymore.
Yeah, like it's just I guess it's constant hammering of the same thing.
Right. I used to have some success with Instagram story ads back in the day. But yeah, now it's pretty tough. You just got to make organic stuff instead, which I mean, I guess that is like more of a net benefit because it's actually more beneficial just to make good, engaging videos or ads like that you're posting versus having to pay a ton of money for them. Because it's like I don't know if it really works too much, but I don't know. Things are always changing, and that's the hard part. Is like keeping up.
Yeah, exactly. I've been boosting some posts on Instagram for my clothing, and it's actually like the results have been good. Like I'm just doing like a small budget. I mean, you know, just like traffic and views and all that. And it's actually been good, but it's like it should be. You shouldn't have to pay for that. It should be, I mean, they definitely like block so much of it unless you're paying for it. But I have a hard time, I was telling you this, just like knowing how do you sell stuff to people? Because I hate being like salesy with stuff, but you kind of have to find your own voice in that. It's just hard, dude.
It's like when everyone's like, subscribe and hit that like button. And it's like, no, now I don't want to. That's why we never say it in the cringe way. But it's the selling. It's weird. But I don't think you have to have that mindset. I think that's actually the wrong mindset for a lot of things. And if you're really aggressive with it and you're just extremely aggressive with your selling, it can work because you'll eventually, you know, it's like volume.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you knock on enough doors to sell your pest control products and treatments. Yeah, you know, people will buy them. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's much better if you just have a great thing.
I think that's it.
That you're selling.
You just have something that's awesome. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen the video of the guy that like knocks on doors and he has a pizza. Like he just brings a pizza and like people is like, do you want to buy this? And like, how can you say no to that, right?
God, a fresh hot pizza right there.
Yeah, dude, I would do it. I think that's it though. You just got to have something really awesome. Because for me, I feel like it's when you're not trying to sell stuff and you're just like sharing what you're doing. I feel like that's almost a better way of marketing sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
But yeah, it's challenging to figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you do like pre-saves and all that for your music?
I kind of stopped that whole pre-save thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because everyone's like, oh, they hype up a song for like a month or two before it comes out. But my thing is like, wouldn't you rather just have it out and then like, because I get creating hype, like apparently then once it's out, all these people have been waiting so long, they're so excited, they go rush to the song, and then once it's out, like it gets tons of screams from all these people who have been dying to hear it. So there's like a psychology behind that. But for me, it's like I don't get enough traction organically reaching new people with those pre-save like hype up videos. So for me, I'm always like, if I'm not going to do a massive campaign to like try to get traction on this, I'm just going to release the song and then do the marketing, because then it's already out. Because then if it goes viral, all those people that wanted to see it want to hear the song, it's already available. Because I feel like half of them are like a quarter or 75% will probably forget if the song isn't out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's probably better just to wait till it's out. But I mean, who am I to say? I don't know. I don't understand marketing nowadays. I get it like intellectually, but I despise participating in it. I just feel like not giving a shit is probably the best strategy in today's day and age, though.
And I think you just got to let people do what they want. Like if somebody wants to buy something or someone wants to listen or watch something, like they're probably going to remember to go like, oh, this comes out that day. Like I'll go, like at least I do.
That's true.
When I know something's coming out that I'm really interested in, you kind of,
that's true.
You set it on the old reminder list, you know, these people are going to do what they want.
Yeah. I think we both talk about this, but it's like the less you kind of care about like what you put out there, and you just drop your ego and just be like, yeah, like I'll just put this out or whatever. Like I'll post this or I'll make this, and just like don't get so attached to the results behind it. I feel like that's the best thing.
Yeah, dude. In
today's day and age.
Kind of been telling you this, but the podcast has really helped me a lot to stop giving so much of a shit. Like I've just been putting random stuff out on my YouTube channel, and like the last thing I put out, I mean, I was just like, oh yeah, I'll make this. Kind of just felt a random inspiration, and dude, I've gained like a ton of subscribers from it, and like I haven't gained subscribers in forever, but I was like, yeah, I'll just throw it up. You don't care about it, but I feel like, yeah, that is the best stuff. Like
it's the right mentality.
Yeah.
There's this book called Reality Transurfing, super esoteric, kind of new age. It's like this Russian quantum physicist who wrote it. Basically, the whole book talks about being unattached to outcomes instead of putting things up on a pedestal. I think you definitely don't want to. You definitely want to expect good things and like visualize your goals, and but you don't want to hold on to this like, oh, this result has to happen. You want to have more of like a laid back mentality when it comes to life, because like you said, that chaos is going to come. So it's like, just expect like that can come at any moment, but if it does, it's like whatever. Like it's just, that's how life is. And I think when it comes to like success stuff too, when you put something on a pedestal and you're like, oh, like if this will happen, then I can finally be happy and I can finally feel good, about my life, because I can't feel good until I'm successful. It's like that. I mean, that plagues a lot of, people I know and myself. It's just like, you're like, until I have the money, until I have the success, the numbers, the streams, the house and the cars that I want, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is, or the Netflix distribution on the film, right? It's like, yeah, like then I'll be happy once that stuff comes. But I feel like once you learn to just like be totally content with where you're at, to unattach to outcomes, and to just like be in flow state and just like don't care what other people think, I feel like that's when you're like, you've hit the ticket.
Yeah, I agree. And there's something to all that. I remember I heard maybe it was Abraham Hicks talked, like, sometimes people just put things in a certain way that makes sense. But whoever it was saying, like once we have your space in life where you're at, it's like a lot of times, the universe will give you more, or whatever it is you think it is, gives you more when you outgrow that space. So when you take that and you max it out and you're like, okay, what do I have? Like, this is good enough, and you just do what you can. And like when you're ready, instead of like you have something, but you're just focused on what you don't have, it's harder to get there. So you have to figure out what can you do with where you're at. I think that's true. I don't know how the mechanics work of all that, but there's got to be some kind of formula, So
yeah, I think with goals too, just like pretending as if they're already all achieved. Like if you pretend every day, like all your goals and everything you want in life, if you're looking for a partner, it's like, just like pretend as if you already have that dream partner or whatever. Like, you should basically live as if that's the case. And then that's when you invite those things in, because you attract, like attracts like, you know? So like if you want to set the frequency of what you want to come into your life. It's just like if you're a negative person, complain a lot, you have a lot of troubles, you invite a lot of that energy in. And I see it with people all the time, and it's like you feel bad, and you know, we've all been in those bad states where like one bad thing happens, you're in a really bad mood, and then boom, 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 thing after thing keeps happening. Like it's like it always adds insult to injury, because that's what you're bringing into your energy space. So I think you said it, yeah, like whatever space you have, whatever life you have, career, whatever, it's like if that was like the peak thing you could possibly achieve, and like that was all you ever wanted, like feel that emotion. And that's like, I feel like when you invite the new stuff, because you're just at such a good like mental state that the only thing that can happen is like that same type of thing for the most part. Like that's what you bring in. So it's the gratitude.
Yeah. It's but we're just programmed in a really tough way to crack, I feel like. And you don't realize when and we all do it like 100%. Like you just have times where you're so frustrated or stuck or whatever. But then the more you start saying like, my life sucks, or, this is so hard, or I'll never get there, that's what you're telling everybody and yourself. It's like, okay,
right.
All right, I guess you won't. Like, why would you, if that's what you think and that's what you're saying,
Right.
So I feel like you have to really be aware, but it's like no one teaches you all that. Like no one, your paradigm, because it's like, yeah, what you believe and what you believe about your life and yourself, like it changes how you act, it changes how you think. And it's sometimes hard to catch yourself, but never too late, I feel like.
Yeah.
Turn things around.
It's like when you're a kid, you don't expect stuff. You're just kind of living in the moment, and you are present. You're in a flow state. And whenever it, like, especially now in the summer, or like it's summer, weather's good, some days I'm just cruising through the day and I'm like, maybe I'll watch a movie now. Maybe I'll play disc golf now. Now I want to work for 7 hours straight. And it's like, I want to do all those things. And it's not like I don't have to force them. It's like, that's like that childhood sense of wonder and like spontaneity. It doesn't mean you can't be like rigorous or schedule things, but it's really just like, how can you keep things light?
Yeah. Keep it light.
Like,
yeah,
it's just not that serious. That's like a great quote, Don't take things too personally. Don't take things like so seriously. Like just like play with life as much as you can, even when things are really, really hard. It's like just kind of pretend it's a game, and it's like you're just trying to you're just trying to enjoy the process, which can be hard, but at the same time, I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah, I have that sometimes, even with Farlight finishing, like with this thing we're working on now, like Old Dog. It's been such a massive process that sometimes in my head I'm like, oh, like, is this ever going to happen? Like, but then it's funny because I can actually remind myself of the last stuff we've shot and feeling that, but then trusting
right.
that it would work out, and it did. And I get to remind myself, okay, it will. Like, but it's just funny when you do that and you see the result and you get to kind of have that in your back pocket to like fall back on. So, but it's, it's just, you're human. You want to figure stuff out. You want to get stuff done. And yeah.
But what you just said is so true. Like once you've proven something to yourself once, like you can snowball in that direction for a really long time. And I remember it's like the first time you do anything, it's easily the hardest because you like don't have anything like experience to like reflect back on. But yeah, exactly. It's like, or sometimes you ever get stressed out during a week. Like you're like, I have so much stuff going on. I got this going on. I got this going on. I got that. How am I going to get to it? And then you're like sitting in bed at night. You're just like, oh my God. Like, it's just like the cortisol levels are so elevated. But then it's like, okay, think back to like 6 years ago, some random week where that happened and every single thing worked out and it was totally fine.
Yeah.
But you get so caught up. It's like sometimes you get upset about something and then just think to yourself, 10 years from now, is this going to be important? And if not, who cares?
Yeah, man. And
that's crazy when when you do that, it's nuts. Like the perspective shift you can have.
It is, man. I've also become more aware too, like how short your time is. Like not in necessarily a bad way. I mean, it's kind of sad, but to think like, okay, 30 summers have passed. How many do I probably have left? Like when you actually kind of lay that out, it always sucks, but you're like, okay, this is like, I got to actually make the most of this stuff. Like that's why this year I was like, man, like I just want to have more campfires. Like I love I never thought about it because I was always like, oh, thinking about other shit. But I feel like the older I'm getting, like the more you got to just allow those little things to kind of be important, So
yeah, it's like when my uncle passed away a couple weeks ago. It was like so sudden, so unexpected, and it sucked so bad that I was like, man, like you always like think like maybe at some point that will happen with a family member. And for some people, they experience that when they're really, really young. And I was lucky enough to kind of have most people that pass away in my family, they're of age and you expect, that could happen at any point or whatever. But I think it did that exact thing for me where it's like, I was okay taking days off of like normally where I'd work like 12 hours that day and just spending it with my family and like not caring, just being like, who cares? Like all that stuff is so BS in the end. And it's just like time with like people you love. And like, it's just like, that is like so much better than any materialistic or like egotistical surface level success that you think is like the greatest thing ever. Depending on where your goals align, obviously that might not be your like peak goal that you're always striving for, but
I feel like too, it's like at the end of the day, like all the stuff we're doing, we're not like people don't work super hard and like just to have money. Like you it's what you can do with that, or like how you can spend more time with your family or do more things that enrich your life. So it's always for that purpose, I feel like. But we've just constructed all these things around it that there's like barriers to get to those things. Whereas, the cavemen times or whatever it was, it's like that. You just did that every day. Like you hunted for food and like made some fires, hung out with your family. It's like, yeah.
Isn't it funny, dude, that like material things that we strive for, like you just said, when you want money, you really just want the experiences that come from that, which are the most basic stuff. And when you think about someone who wants to buy a Lamborghini, what do they really want? They want love from other people that they think if they have like a Lamborghini, people will see them and be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Like you're so successful. You've worked so hard. You've put in all this time and effort. And like, they want adoration. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a human thing that they're desiring. It's not the material thing. Because if everyone on the entire planet was, gone, how much would you still want the Lamborghini? You would probably still want it because it looks cool and it's fun. And, I like things. Like I like watches. I like cars. Like I like physical things. But the level of desire that you would have for that would go down so dramatically, it would be ridiculous. Because it's like, in the end, everything is just a means to create some human connection. Like being famous, people have, a lot of musicians, when you first start out, you're like, you think of that as like a part of your desire, which is insane, but it's just this weird thing we all have. And I think it's probably some social hierarchy thing where you're like, oh, I need to, because they've done studies that people who are higher up in society, whatever that means, they have like higher serotonin levels, just how we structure ourselves hierarchically. And I don't know, but it all comes back to you just want more love and adoration and human connection. Like you want it from random people. It's like you love it so much that you want it from everyone. It's just crazy that it all comes back to that. But it's like you can have that at any point.
Yeah. And sometimes going about it that way kind of creates the opposite. Like if I think back to like with my music project, like Say We Can Fly, like back to like my peak time, like when I was like, playing Warped Tour and like just always had people coming out, like that made me feel important. And that I liked that feeling, but that I feel like that was kind of the wrong, when I look back on it, it's kind of the wrong thing. And it kind of ended up creating way more like loneliness. Because when you're chasing that, you kind of get further sometimes. I know it's a bit different than where you were saying, but it's just interesting to reflect on because you're kind of, like making yourself important for that purpose. When I feel like, I don't know, sometimes the opposite is better. Like just be yourself. Yeah. You don't have to do anything, or I don't know. Like I just feel way more connected and grounded these days. Just not chasing shit all the time,
Totally.
That makes sense, but
No, it's funny because, yeah, I remember like just starting doing music. I've never had the level of success you've had with music, but it's just funny. Like when you first start out, you kind of like care about that kind of stuff. Like you want to feel important, and everyone wants to feel important in some way. They want to feel respected and admired by people, and yeah, just respected, and they want love from other people, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because when I cared about that kind of stuff, like when I cared about like what people thought of me or cared about getting in any sort of fame or whatever, like those things, like I never experienced it when I cared about it. Then when I stopped caring about it completely and did not give a shit if anyone knew who I was, I just wanted to create art and I just want to like put things out. Like I want to benefit, or I want to serve people like a piece of art that can like benefit themselves. You know what I mean? Not just like for my own purpose, but it's like, that's like, once I let go of all that, then I actually had more people like come up to me on the street randomly, or just like come up to me at shows and just like tell me like all the positive things, you know, in their life, like my music has done for them or whatever. But it's like, I didn't get any of that when I cared about it. I don't know. It's just kind of funny, but I think people get caught in a negative cycle if they do care about like, you know, attention from strangers. Like that's what fame is. You want attention from strangers. Kind of weird. It's like a weird thing to want.
Yeah, then when it stops, you're fucking lost. Like you're like, oh shit. And then you feel like you're fucked, and then you get into this bad cycle. Like that's kind of what happened with me. And I don't know. And then but it's all bullshit though. I feel like and a lot of like, you know, big like actors or directors or, you know, just people who are really successful, I feel like a lot of times you see like they're actually super humble, and like they kind of feel awkward when they're getting like praised, but I feel like because they get it, you know, it's like you realize it's not about you. You're not important. Like in that way, it's like you can convince yourself that you are.
You're not more important than the next person.
Yeah, but it is like just it's about what you're doing and like how that can help people. So, but yeah, it's just like the crazy ego thing. And it can work. I mean, for sure. You can be super successful, and it's all about you. And I mean, it is all about us at the end of the day. It's how we're programmed. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But even like when we're doing film stuff, I'm like, when people are like helping us out and they think it's like so cool and it's like this big important thing, and you're just like, you kind of feel bad because you're like, no, like this is about something else. And like, you know, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's interesting mindset shift. So
it's a good thing to talk about though. Like, I don't think a lot of people talk about it from a perspective like you, for example, who like experience the ups and downs of like that type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was never
still see people chasing that dragon where it's like,
100%, dude. I mean, I never had like Justin Bieber level, you know, but of course, I had a peak where it was like pretty insane, like 2015, 16, like that in that like kind of music scene. And it was really interesting to go through and like not be there now.
Shirts and Hot Topic and stuff.
Yeah, shirts and like all that shit, like MTV and whatever, all the magazines and stuff.
Alternative press.
And I did feel like, oh, I'm doing something right. Like it's important, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just natural, I guess. You just go through all that, especially when you don't have any of that when you're younger, when you're starting. So totally. I have like a mini story of that, but I'm so happy now though. Like just way happier now. I don't know. That's like funny, distance from all that. It's interesting. I mean, sure, not everyone would feel that way, but yeah.
It's just fun once you let go of that, and then you can just enjoy the process of doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. As like a musician, it's like a lot of the influencers. The thing is, sometimes with the influencer thing, it's like, what are you doing? Like, are you just, is your goal just recognition? But like, what are you doing though? Like, what are you providing to society? Like what art are you providing? Maybe it's just funny videos, and that's fine too. But I always think about that, like with the music stuff, we talk about all like the fame thing where it's like, once you let go of that, then you can actually get to the source of what you're doing, which is sharing your experience for other people to relate to, resonate with, and like process something. Because all you want is just to know that someone else knows what you've been through. Like you just want, like, if you're feeling a certain emotion, going through a breakup or whatever, obviously it's like the most common. It's like you put on a song where someone else felt that, you're like, you like feel through it. You're like, God, like this sucks, but hell, like this person knows exactly what I feel like right now. And that is so beneficial. And I think that like that's what all art really is kind of. And man, once you just like get to that as the source,
yeah, dude,
it's you feel so much better about what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like, you get trapped in a haunted farmhouse, you watch Firelight, you're like, oh, not the only one.
Someone finally understands what it's like.
So funny, dude.
Hey, I mean, there's people out there victims of serial killers, so
that's true.
Horror movies, do it justice. But yeah, I finally finished the Convicting a Murderer docuseries about making a murder. Man, that story is like so compelling. You got to watch that documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, I should. I love those Netflix docs. Jake's working on one. He's working on a true crime Canadian one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he sent me like a teaser trailer. It looks pretty sick.
I want to see his film 1,000 Cuts still.
Yeah, I think it's coming out soon, like on streaming.
Yeah, because it was just in festivals and stuff.
Yeah, Jake's awesome, dude. We should have him back on sometime.
Yeah,
he's another one of those guys, man. He's like doing so much cool shit, but he's like same mindset, super humble. Just he gets it, But I feel like that's kind of how sometimes people do well too, because you're able to connect with other people, like even in the industry. Like you're able to just be a normal person. You're not like some fame chaser or clout, because people can sense that shit. Yeah, and I feel like you just build better connections that can also help you like do what you want to do.
Yeah, everything they say about LA when they make fun of like people in LA like name dropping, it's so true and it's really hilarious. There's this like really funny energy. You like go somewhere and like you start talking to some random person and then they're just like telling you a story. Like some guy was telling me how Lindsey Sterling slept on his couch last night and I gave him 0 fucks. Like I was like, and that's really interesting.
They're usually wearing a hat.
What do you do?
Sunglasses, have a coffee, and they walk kind of fast, I feel like. That's my experience.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But it's always like, well, who cares like who you know? I don't really give a shit. It's like I just want to know what you do. Like I want to know your story. But you're totally right about that. Yeah, there's also like the tech bro, AI bros too. That's a funny one as well. A lot of funny stereotypes out there in the old City of Angels. But I mean, it's cool though. It's people talk a lot of shit about places like that. And, being from a small rural town, it is funny to observe it from the outside. But I mean, it is nice being immersed with a bunch of people who are like kind of doing the same stuff as like you are. Because like me and you, we can relate with so much stuff with like how we structure our days, like what we spend our time doing. But there's like no one in my general vicinity that I could, in my town, that's like can relate to those things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's so tough. And it's nice to be in a community where you can like, hey, like we can talk about like the same stuff. So, me and you have to Zoom to do it. But yeah, that there is a benefit of that kind of random off topic subject.
I agree. I definitely
don't know.
Agree. Yeah, the old Zoom podcast, man. It works.
It does.
It works well. It seems like
thank God we don't need a producer.
Yeah. No,
for all the people out there who do. There's a lot of podcasts that need producers.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm just like, there's so many people. They have like 10 people on their set. And I'm like, what's going on? Like in the background.
I know.
Like
what are they even doing?
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, it does seem like just from my perspective, like it seems like you've, like how you see stuff or feel has changed over the last year, like since we've been doing the pod and everything. Like in a good way, kind of similar to what I've felt. Like you just kind of tell, I don't know if that's true, but I would assume.
What way are you talking about?
Like it just seems like you, I don't know. You just seem, I don't know how to explain it. Like in a good way, just more grounded, more like, like less super attached to like music or other things. Like not in a bad way, but it just seems like,
right.
I don't know. Maybe just doing the podcast and just opening up every week has just been good, been good.
Yeah, I have not put out any music since we started the podcast. Not on purpose necessarily.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because of the podcast, because the podcast isn't that much work, obviously. It's just like, sometimes you just need to you obviously just need to take these massive breaks where you like kind of can like reevaluate how you want to spend your time and what you want to do. But yeah, no, I think for me, the biggest thing is, and I think we talked about this in episode 1, but honestly, just starting to like make, movies whatever you want to call it, starting the production company. It's literally something that I've wanted to do so badly for so long, but like would never say it to anyone because I'd be like embarrassed at like the even thought of wanting to do it. That like the fact that it actually ended up happening, it makes no sense. And the fact that I knew you for many years from the outside, like we weren't friends or anything. And then randomly, that was your goal that you wanted to do the whole time too. And like we somehow like met in the exact same place to do that one goal that we've always wanted to do, but like also probably was afraid to admit in some sense. I mean, you posted some like acting stuff, but I don't know. It's so weird. It's like I still can't get past that. It kind of messes with my mind because I'm like, how is that possible? Like, how did that work out? Because like the amount that I wanted to do film was so bad that it literally depressed me. Like at night. Yeah. Like I would be sitting at night like, did I screw up my life? Like I moved to LA because I loved film, but I moved there to do music. It was so weird. Like the film is what drew me to the city, but it wasn't even what I was doing. I can't explain it. It's just like, so the fact that we finally got this together and met up somehow to do it is like, it still blows my mind on a daily basis. So I feel like that's part of the reason I've probably felt just like, I don't know, more grounded and relaxed is because like that was like a stressful negative thing in my life, like weighing on me, like you're never going to be able to do this thing you've always wanted to do because you haven't taken any action towards it besides learning cinematography and doing cool music videos here and there. I don't know, it's crazy. It's
a bizarre little thing, but I agree 100%. Same experience for me, but it's what I love is like the way it's worked out for us, because to me it's actually like the ideal situation. You just have three guys and the other guys on our crew that just are in the same spot and like are, you know, we're all good friends and like we get it and we're willing to grow together. Like that's just so much different than like you just you find a bunch of money and you hire random people and stuff. Like to me it's just a whole different experience. That's just, I feel really like lucky that we get to do it this way. And obviously there's challenges and stuff, but it feels just really solid. You know, the things in life, you feel, you know, you're building a solid foundation instead of just doing like a quick thing. That's kind of how it feels, you know, and you can't buy that. Like you just got to put the time in, and it's awesome. So I agree. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's a pie chart of like what's important in life, and it was always like there's like I want like following my dreams, music, family, social relationships, these things, good nutrition, good health, and then there's always this box that was like missing, and it was just like do filmmaking, like make movies. And like the fact that got filled, now I'm like, oh, thank God. Like now I can breathe a little bit. It's just weird, dude. But I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense or. I totally agree. Yeah, 100%. But I feel like that helps you relax and benefits the rest of the things in your life, because everything else has gotten better. Like my songwriting has improved, and my writing and recording and every single thing, because that's not the only thing that I'm thinking about. Yeah, exactly. It's like I want to write the script, like working on that script, the period film. I literally want to do that. I want to make music. I want to make merch. I want to do these other side freelance things that I do, because they're also like, they're all different, but they're all related. And it's just like, I don't know. I mean, part of we talk about this where it's like, sometimes it does overwhelm you because there's so much different things going on. Obviously you've been working on your shop for the past like 2 weeks nonstop. And it's like, and then you got to think about podcast editing, got to get your album out. We're still working on the movie. It's just kind of insane. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah. But I think that fuels everything else so much. You never feel like this soul draining out of you. I think if you're doing one repetitive thing, like I've experienced jobs like that, it's like the same task over and over and over, and that's it. And that can really like drain your soul. So I don't know. I'm just glad to, and even the podcast is like, it's probably the most beneficial thing we've done. Like the filmmaking has been insanely beneficial, but just being able to communicate. Well, no, 100% communication, like week. Just less self-consciousness. Cause I mean, I just think that translates to when we do filming. That's it in a just intangible way. That's going to translate. Like I can already see it, like from when because I remember the first time we did a script to read through together. And I feel like we both just were kind of super like closed off and like overthinking, and it's just we just rip it, and you know, right. So it's just it's crazy. It all helps everything helps the other thing. So I love it. Buy a hoodie.
100%.
Buy an alien hoodie. You know?
That was all just one long pitch.
One long ad.
Sell.
We're gonna make some, and we got the potential Stay Greasy coming out soon.
Oh, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
We need to start repping our Amber Force podcast hoodies here. I really enjoy those.
Yeah, we'll have them soon.
Very much enjoy them.
Gonna make some.
Yeah. Please, if you have any weird drinks you want us to try, drop them in the comments.
Drop them. Yeah, we'll do it.
Stealing that from the Lord of the Rings podcast that you used to listen to. They stopped doing the podcast though. They
did. They're always like, we need more subscribers. And they didn't get enough or something, so they stopped. It was like, oh, interesting.
Probably because,
not worth their time. I love that podcast.
We'll never stop. If we have 200 subscribers forever, it'll just keep going.
Yeah. Because I think we do it for ourselves in a way.
Yeah.
But dude, I remember I learned how to make the perfect scrambled eggs from them. They'd always talk about food all the time.
See if there's anything else I wanted to touch on. Nope. That's it.
All right. You got your EP coming soon?
Yep, EP's coming out, I think June 12th. Don't exactly know the date. Bunch of just my favorite songs that I, put out last year. Nothing new. But I just kind of wanted to collect them and just have like a CD, someone can buy a CD at a show, and it's just like, it's together, they live in one spot, because I've been listening to those songs nonstop the past year myself. I listen to my own music, which is weird, but honestly, I like my music, and that's why I make it, is just because I like it. And I do want other people to take it and enjoy it for themselves, but it's kind of funny. Like, it's weird. Like, my music is weird, and I feel like just the production and everything, and I don't know, I like listening to it randomly. It's kind of maybe a weird thing.
I think it's a good thing. You should like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, June 12th. Stay on the lookout. Dragonborn Chronicles Chapter 2. Then we're closing that little story there.
Hell yeah.
2 chapters.
That's grand. I got a song coming out June 20th with Micah Martin and Sunday Friend. So check that out. It's a nice little rocktronic tune. Pretty sweet. And
Anxious Ghost
is now open 24/7, and we got all the stuff in there.
That's a great layout, by the way. I just gotta applaud you. I really like that site design.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a lot of sleepless nights. People don't realize how long that shit takes, but
it's so funny. Cool. It's the iceberg effect.
Yeah, exactly. It's just all the random coding, but it's kind of fun because I was using ChatGPT to be like, help me do custom code for certain sections, which I didn't even think you could really do, but it's
for someone like us who isn't trained in coding, it's like,
I still don't get it.
That's like an advantage.
It's bizarre that everything is just code, but that's a whole other thing. So, but
sweet.
Appreciate everyone listening as always. Thank you for all the subs, the likes, and all that. And we will catch you in the next one.
Have a great one.